Welcome back to Altered Recipe Card number 9, and today we're going to be doing our book page pocket. So this is going to be multiple pockets, so I'm using 2 book pages, and it's going to go into this album that I'm using to hold these altered recipe cards in. And the good thing about this is that, for one thing, it's small and compact. It can easily go on a shelf, like beside on a bookcase with other books, and so it's easy to access. And when you're ready to make a journal or give a gift and Happy Mail, whatever you're going to do with them, you can just pull one of these out, and according to the color theme that you make it in, then you can go right here and find which one matches the best for whatever it is you're doing. Or you can go the opposite way and use this as your inspiration, whatever design you make these in, whatever colors, whatever papers, you know. And then you can just go to it and say, okay, I made it out of this Prima pack or this Digipack, and so now I want to make a journal out of that, or a Happy Mail binder. So here's some altered cards, journal cards that I can use, and then you're having your embellishments made. So what I'm going to do with my next set of journal cards, they're not going to be altered recipe cards, but they are going to be journal cards, and I'm going to see if I can find another album. I have several albums, so I'm going to see. I have one handy here. I do have one somewhere, and then yeah. Alright, so this is my other size that I have, and this particular one I'm using for keeping all of the cards that I'm making. So sympathy cards or thinking of you cards, anniversary cards, whatever. Those are going to go into here. Most of these type small albums is 10 pages. So let me count these real quick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes. Okay, so these have 10 pockets as well. But as you can see, this is a nice, and it's a bigger size. That gives you more room. Okay, so that is 6. All right, these are 6 by 6 albums. So that's going to be a bigger card right there. Now, I do have index cards, and I'm thinking I'm going to take and alter the index cards. But they're multicolor. But what I got around, how I'm going to get around that, I figured it out already, is I can just put white gesso on the back, put a piece of white art paper on the back, and then, draw the lines or just leave it like that for the journaling. So I'm going to take another one of these albums that I have and then use that to hold all of my altered index cards. So that's going to be that project coming up, and looks like a little bug got in there on that one. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to use this album. I'll probably just leave it like this because I like this pretty cover. This is really pretty. So this will be our next project together. So it will be 10 altered index cards, or just a 6 by 6. I'm not sure yet how I'll do that, but first of all, I have to get the index cards. I have them in a stack in my stash somewhere. So once I find out which container they're in, then we will figure it out. But I'm thinking, if I'm remembering correctly, they may be 6 inches, but I know they're not 6 inches this way. I'm thinking they are also. They seem like they're a bit bigger than this recipe card. So anyway, so when I find them, we have 2 more of these to go. So today's, and then the next one, which will be probably Monday, and then we'll start on these altered index cards. So what I'm trying to do is just get all of my embellishments made up. And then let me show you the theme I'm going to make those in. I just made a purchase on scrapbook.com when they had their freebie, their VIP freebie for the dauber. I think it was the National Craft Day or something like that. Some kind of a anniversary thing. So this was a freebie that I received. This, ink blending tool. I call them daubers, but anyway, ink blending tool. So this really neat ink blending tool. And you can buy the replacement thing. And this one I like it because it's the dome curved shape. I have the flat one, and I don't like the flat one as much, but I can see how they both serve a purpose. So this is the paper that I purchased, and I had purchased a pack, I think it was Recollections from Michaels, and it was vintage papers. I don't remember the name of the pack. That pack has since retired. It's no longer in print, and I purchased every single one I could find in my area years ago, and then I used them in my Etsy shop to make my cash envelopes, which I stitch my cash envelopes, and I was the first shop on Etsy to be stitching them, and I know others have added that because it's a great feature. They will never come apart. So this was a really pretty vintage paper in a burlap theme. It was the same thing as that other paper pack. It was called burlap, but it's not really. They weren't all, it was just burlap looking paper. And it was very, very similar to this. I have one of those packs with the actual burlap, and I don't even know what in the world I would do with that. So maybe we can brainstorm and come up with some ideas together. It's thick, and it has that heavy cardboard. I don't know, what is that? Okay, this is a different piece, but boy, is that thick. Okay, so this is Vintage Artistry Everyday Lucent Ladies. That's what the name of this one is. Double-sided. So I purchased 2 of those because I just love that pattern and that look. These are also double-sided. Now, we're in that other paper pad. They were not double-sided, so that's what I really liked about this as well. So if you need it to be double-sided, like if you were going to fold it in a certain way and you don't want to see that white, then you would get the nice pattern. Trying to get this one separated, for goodness sake, to show you the backs of these. It's always nice when you can see somebody and then on video what they look like, because when you see it, just that little picture. That's why now on Etsy they introduced the video option, because you can see what it looks like and get a better idea, and then that helps you to make that decision to purchase when you can see what it really looks like from the video. Now this is very thin cardstock, whereas these two, this is heavier, definitely heavy cardstock. I mean, this could be, like a journal cover, heavy duty type thing. So I want to use this paper to make my altered cards for this, because I want to do a journal and themed in this whole idea. So that's going to be coming up. The coloration on this is not, the white stands out, and then this background burlap look is it's not as pretty as I would have wanted it to be. So compared to that other paper pack that I had, it was really, really pretty. And I don't know if I have, it was like a darker brown. This is like a, I don't even know what would you call that. That doesn't even look, I don't know, it kind of, I don't know if you can see that and really understand what it is I'm saying, how to describe it. It just looks, it kind of looks like lace laid on top of the burlap. Let's just put it that way. But if you've seen burlap is a darker color. This is very pale, so they didn't really get that vibrant look of the burlap like I would have wanted to. All right, so that's next project, and there'll be 10 of those in that series. So get your supplies out and ready for that. Pick out your paper packs, what you want to use. And if you want to follow along with me, and you could go on to scrapbook.com and purchase that same burlap theme paper. Excuse me while I take a drink. Okay, so let me get that album back over there. All right, so now today what I'm going to be doing with my videos from now on, because I like this and it's helping me to make my videos shorter, is I give you the layout, I show you the supplies, and then I glue and ink and sew off camera, and then I come back and show you the final ta-da put together like I did with this last one. So it's shortened my videos down to like, what was it, 20 minutes or something. So I'm trying to get down to less than 20 minutes. And then that way you'll be able to watch my videos. And, you know, everybody has usually about 15 minutes that they can sit, you know, while you're eating or something like that, to watch my video. And if you watch and sit down and actually make the project with me, then I want it to be shorter for you so that you can get it completed. So each of these are so unique and different. So if you haven't watched the whole playlist, then I encourage you to do so, because it's really gives you a great idea. And you see all of these techniques used in junk journaling and used for embellishing in our junk journals. But now I am incorporating that, and I'm trying to teach you how to use these same techniques on different projects. And so that's why I came up with this altered recipe card. We see altered playing cards, but you don't see too many altered recipe cards. It's been like a year or more, I think, when I checked through the videos here on YouTube, when the last time somebody did these. So this came out of a recipe book, and I wanted to try to get this flower on it, and then I don't know if I wanted this little place setting or this cute little fire setting. So whatever works out. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to take the card, and then I'm going to have to trace around it. So I'm using that border here as a guide. And then, you know, the words of it, that's the other thing, you know, so like I'll be cutting part of that off, so I might come down here like that. So no matter how I do it, it's going to cut off words, but that's not what we're going for here. We're not worried about the words. The first step is to trace out your cards, because you need that background piece. And so I'm going about this in a little bit different fashion, but let me show you another style and technique. And it all will hinge on, okay, so that's that much. So now when you're looking at this, and you have to keep in mind, okay, when you lay something down and then you're going to flip this part up when you're dealing with words, the bottom part is going to be upside down. Because if you have this going in the right direction, then when you flip it up, this will be upside down. So you have to keep that in mind. So your first fold, so the page has to be longer than your page is like all right, so let's say this was in a 6x9 album, so 6 wide, 9 in your height, so your page would have to be, let's say, a 12x12. So then when you fold it up, you're going to get at least a 3-inch pocket. So let me explain it like that so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so now let's fold this, and I'm trying to fold it. Okay, there we go. So I want to get 2 pockets on this page. All right, so now this will be my first pocket. So now just doing it like that, I flip this over. Now I'll just get my scissors and just cut it. And if you hold your finger way up here, it prevents that paper from scooting over, and then that keeps it straight for you. Now, I can also take this page here, and we'll have a second pocket. So now what I can do is just come straight in, and what I want to do though is thinking, since this isn't wider, sometimes I'll make a gusset. You've seen me do the pockets where I make a gusset on it, so that it's not just that flat. But this, I've cut it evenly now, so I can't do that. All right, so let me think about this for a minute. I want to try to, let's see. I like this. Okay, so now that I have green instead of the red here on this one. All right, so let's just take this piece. I was trying to, the line's already there. I wanted to kind of do it between. so that I could get it like that, but now I have that crease in there. I don't like that crease. And then the flower, I really wanted to incorporate that flower somehow. Alright, so let me just cut this out, and then I can start figuring it out. I'll have to fold it and see. Okay, so now okay. Alright, so I can do another second pocket here. So here will be a pocket here, and this will be a pocket here. So then I want to be able to, have it be a decent size pocket. And then just to give me that reference point there. Beautiful. So now I have the flower on the front like I wanted it to. So we're going to round these corners, and then I'm going to sew this to the recipe card. So what I'll do, all I need to do is just stitch straight down here, straight here, and straight here, and then that gives me all the pockets very easily. So then now all I need to do back here is open that up and just trim that right off, and then there you go. So here's a pocket here, here's a pocket here. Now if I wanted to, not with this piece, but just for conversation piece, yeah, see, if I come way down here, I could have a third pocket, but then it's really going to be shallow, but I don't want to cut off all that pretty flower, so we're not going to do that. So what I'm going to do now is ink all these edges, stitch it on the machine, and then come back, round the corners, put the little half circle part here for being able to get things in and out, and then we'll make the actual little tags that are going to go in here, and then see, do I want to put, maybe I'll put like maybe a piece of ribbon across here or some kind of lace. The same thing here. The only thing is you want to keep it flat, so whatever is going in and out you're not going to catch on that. So I would probably sew any of those embellishments on here, so I'll do that. So once I get that first step done, I'll come back with the supplies for adding this different trim and embellishments. Then I'll add that, then I'll come back, and then we'll make the what's going to go in the pockets together. So that's the first step. So work on that, and then I'll be back. Okay, here is the finished, altered recipe card, journal card. Woohoo! It turned out really pretty. I'm very happy with it. So let me show you the tags that I put in each of the pockets. And then I will give you the measurements. Okay, so we started off with a 4x6, and then each pocket has its own, size. Okay, so the depth of each pocket is different. So this one is like around 3 inches, this one's about 4 inches, and this one, of course, is 6 inches. And so this is a 3 by 3 1/4. So it goes in the front pocket here. And what I did is I used my scallop punch, and I folded it in half, and that's what I used to make the tabs with out of this. And then this was a printable. I got out of one of the friend's Etsy shop. So that one goes in there. And then the next one is 3 inches also by 4 1/4, and that goes in the second pocket. And I put lace, and I used the same scallop punch, did the same thing with that one up at the top. And then the last one is 3 by 6. Alright, I gotta work with the lace. Okay, getting the lace down in the pocket. Alright. Okay, and then this is a 3 by 6. Okay, 6, yep. Same thing. So I did matching, so this scallop, and then I just used cheesecloth behind it. Of course, I inked all the edges of the tags. And then what I did here is I left a big pocket back here. And then this little fabric pouch here is another little pocket. And then inside of there, I put a little tag, so I use the same recipe book page, and then just punched out a tag, and then it fits it right in there. So now, because I have put this tag in that pocket, it makes it bigger than the album. But the way I'm going to put it in here is all I need to do, hopefully. Let me see if that will work. If I can take it out and see if I can get it to fit in the pocket. And let me see. Okay, so this I know will fit. But this one may not fit. No, this isn't going to fit. It's just a wee bit. So I didn't remember that when I was putting on this tab here. So I can take the staple off is what I'll have to do, and then just move it down a little bit. And then it will fit into my little album. But here's the 3 finished little tags. Then here's the finished altered recipe card. Isn't that pretty? I love this. Just took a piece of muslin, and then this was fabric scraps, and stitched all that together. Stitch everything first and together onto the book pages, and then I did just around the 3 edges for the altered book. So all of this is stitched, and then staple, glued, and inked. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. Now the next, last but not least in this series, will be using our eyelets and beads and all that kind of thing. So tune in for next video Monday. And if you haven't already subscribed and you enjoyed this video, then I would love to have you join my little community and keep creating in the sunshine. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.